Hello. Oh, here I am thinking that I'm on a different screen. Hello, hello. How is everybody today? It's a pretty nice day here, which I'm happy about. But the fall fair is in town this weekend, so it's been a pretty quiet weekend here at the store, but busy sort of everywhere else. Hello, Dagny. How are you doing today? We went to the parade yesterday. It was very, very good. It was over an hour long. So we went to our spot about 9:30. The parade was supposed to start at 10, but of course we were probably like 3/4 of the way down the route. So the parade didn't actually get to us till I think it was 10:30. And yeah, it was just after 11:30 when we packed up, and I had to work at noon, and I thought, holy, I might be late for work. So it was a really great parade. The kids got a half of a reusable shopping bag, like a Walmart one, just a simple one. Half of that full of like candy and chips and freezies, and it was crazy, but they had a great time. And you know what? It was so much that probably the last maybe 15 minutes of the parade, the kids just wanted to sit in the chair and watch. They were like even done collecting candy. That's how it was. Hello, Lori. How are you? So we are planning to hit the rides and stuff today in about 3 hours from now. I rounded up a friend for each of the kids so I can just supervise, which will be nice. And I have some more planning to do for the retreat. So I think I can hopefully maybe kind of look into a few more things and do that while I'm supervising, right? While I'm supervising. So, oh yeah, I want to show you this from last week when we were doing with the Dinkles. So this was the one I did with the Distress Micro Glaze to do like that resist, but I wanted to show you just how it dried. I actually wasn't sure if the powder would dry on top of the micro glaze, but I decided that I would just let it dry and see what happened. And I know if I go ahead and put water on these spots here, that it would run off the micro glaze. But for just something like this, if you were going to maybe do a card front or something in your scrapbook or a mini album or a junk journal, as long as you didn't put water on it, it would be okay. And you probably could put microglaze back over top of it. I could try that, but I was quite pleasantly surprised with how it would just dry on top of that microglaze. So when I seen this, I've been kind of looking at it all this week, and I thought I need to maybe just show everybody, because I think that I had said that it maybe wouldn't dry, or that you know, I would dab it off. I'm just gonna do that right now. I'm just gonna try the microglaze thing because I have it here. Oh yeah. So that's what happens, is it starts to, where's my camera? It starts to make it run. See that? So whenever you hit it with the microglaze, well, maybe it was just that big spot. Let me see if I can clean it up a little bit and switch my view. Maybe it was just because I kind of hit that big spot on there. Maybe if I didn't go for the heavy thick spots, maybe it would be okay. You could probably, I'm guessing, use some sort of a spray sealer or something too, that, you know, it's probably the rubbing effect that's making it go over. So anyway, so you could seal it, I guess, but I wouldn't use microglaze for a sealer because it's just makes it run. So for today, I was just going to kind of play around with the embossing glaze Embossing glaze, micro glaze. Man, we just have it all here, hey? Oh, I'm just trying to get my... Oh. Okay, sorry. I'm just trying to switch my camera here. This one, then this one. There we go. So then I can be on here, but you can still see me. Who uses, between the two of you, since I think you're the only two watching, have you used the micro glaze much? Or not the micro glaze, sorry, the Distress Embossing Glaze. I actually quite like it for vintage kind of looking items. I like it for that. So what I thought I would do is I have a couple, let me actually do it on this. This is going to be my paper to rinse off with when I get the glaze. So I am going to use this. You use it a lot, so that's good. I'm going to use this stamp. I'm going to stamp in the Versamark. Where did I put my other block? I thought I had a big long block here. Oh yeah, I do. It's just under the stencil. What do we do first when we're going to emboss? What do we do first? I always forget. And I definitely will say it does work so much better when you do remember to put the anti-static stuff on here. It does work so much better. I do forget probably half the time. So it's nice when I actually remember, and then it seems to work a lot better. Perfect! Look at you two. You're just like the pros. I don't even need to show you this. Favorite colors? Yeah. Favorite colors? What do you got? What is your go-to then for this embossing powder? What's your go-to colors? Is there any? Maybe you like them all. I don't know how my Versamark is. Oh yeah, it's getting on there. Okay. I like this scroll stamp. I use it quite a bit in different things. I'm going to put it like this. And I took my paper from underneath off. I'm going to stamp it right on my mat, because if some of my Versamark goes over the edge, I don't want the powder sticking to this mat that I'm going to use just for cleanup. Okay, that looks pretty good. So, I'm going to do these three for the first one. So, Catch Flamingo, Salvage Patina, and Fossilized Amber. Now, I don't know about you ladies. I have Fossilized Amber, hey. Oh, this one's not even open yet. Isn't that interesting? So, I don't know about you ladies, but I like to mix and match mine. And what I'm saying by that is, if I can get this one open, is that I'm going to put all three colors on here at once. If I can get this open, like I said. All right. And before my Versamark dries. So I'm just going to sprinkle. Do you need it? This camera zoomed up a bit more? I can see if I can zoom it up. I actually found my little spoon thing. Remember last week when I was doing the dinkles and I said I had this like glitter spoon and I couldn't find it? I finally found it today. It was in here with the embossing powders. It was in my embossing powder bin. I probably should be using it now, but I'm good with my fingers. You know, everybody's always so worried about, oh, you gotta put it back and you gotta this and this. You know what? Probably my grandkids could have this embossing powder and there'd still be some of it. Like, honestly, I don't know how worried I am about mixing colors and different things. What's your opinion? Hi, Lori. What's your opinion on mixing it and not, you know, doing something like this where maybe you're wasting a bit more of your... I mean, I don't think... I tried not to waste too much, but yeah, there'll be a bit of waste, right? So let's cook this. Rusty hinge, that's... Yeah. Oh, hi, Amber. How are you? I think I've just sort of maybe started kind of appreciating Rusty Hinge a bit more. Same with tea dye. I think I mentioned that before in one of my lives that I did. Kind of starting to appreciate tea dye a little bit more than I used to. And I'm doing a couple projects up for the retreat, and I kind of have been looking at peeled paint too, so... That's true. You wouldn't waste it on mixed media for sure. That's very true. Amber, you bringing your kids to the fair? Probably smart if you don't. Just making sure I've got this all, and then I'm going to show it up close to you. All right. Oh, I gotta look at that. Distress Embossing Glaze. That is amazing. Look at that. Boy, those three colors really work good together. Isn't that so beautiful? So beautiful. Okay, I'm gonna have to clean that later. Okay, so now I want to, so that's these three. Let's put the lids back on so I don't have what happened last week where I spilt a bunch all over. Now, I'm sure, hello Marion, you've never mixed yours? Honestly, I think because this is slightly translucent, I just feel it gives you a little bit more when you mix it. Now, that could just be me. I don't know, but that is just my feeling. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna change my mind here. I'm gonna go back to these three, but I'm going to put it on some texture paste. So we're just gonna see how that's gonna work. So I'm gonna do these three on this same card, and then we will have a chance to just see the comparison. And I didn't even really plan that, but look, this stencil and that stamp kind of worked out to looking similar, right? I'm using opaque texture paste just because I thought for this purpose it would kind of show up a little bit more of what I'm wanting it to show up. And because it already is translucent, I felt that using like a transparent texture paste or translucent crackle paste or something kind of went against the whole purpose here. So I need to get a wet wipe for that because I definitely don't want that sitting on my stencil while I'm trying to finish off the live. And of course, look what I did, the exact opposite of what I said I was going to do in the beginning, and I went right on top of that scrap paper. Oh well. Sorry, I'm just trying to clean this up even a tiny little bit just so that I don't get dried texture paste on here. And this is one of my favorite stencils, so I definitely don't want to get texture paste on here. I just remembered I have a soap bath or a water bath because I'm doing some other stenciling. All right, so let's get this put on. Who's done this? Is that your favorite stencil? Yeah. I used fossilized amber, Catch Flamingo, and salvaged patina. You will now, Marion? Oh, I'm glad. Like I was saying, I don't know if you've been on the whole time, but the small amount that you kind of waste, I mean, I'm wasting quite a bit because it's getting on my fingers, but even still. I'm gonna put a little bit more. I feel like whichever one you start with is kind of the one that you get the most of. So salvaged patina. Yeah, let's go with the pink next. So anybody done this? Which I'm sure most of you have, but I always like to ask and to know. Right? Anybody put their embossing powder on top of their texture paste? I know I use that flourish stencil so much that I actually try to make myself not use it because I tend to kind of use it for everything. I just turned these upside down. I don't know if you've seen that when I first brought them over, but I actually store these upside down. I'm sure that there's probably some little label you can get for the top of these, but because they're silver, when I have them in my bin, I just store them upside down like this, and then you can see them. So like these ones, I thought would be maybe another trio to try, and I always have them in my bin upside down like that. Then that way I'm not having to go through every single one and lift it up. I can easily tell what colors they are, and when I seen these three kind of sitting together like that, I thought, ooh, that's kind of a nice combination. And this is a lot of times what I do when I'm trying to pick out my colors is I sort of just put them all together and see how it goes. All right, so that one I'm gonna let dry for a little bit more while I'm finishing up here on the live. Just gonna shake this on a bit more just because I feel like I missed a couple spots. There we go. All right. So, I mean, that's what I'm wasting right there, that little bit. That's what I'm gonna throw out. And really, I mean, you don't have to. You could put that into a bin and then you'd have that sort of a mixture. But for this purpose, that little bit I'm gonna let it go. So I'm gonna just put that away for right now, let that dry a tiny little bit, and then I will finish it off just before the end of the live, hopefully. All right, trying to think of what else I wanted to do. What do I want to do? Oops, I don't wanna smush that. Better put that one up there. You know what, let's try a word. I wanted to try this mixed thing with a word to see how, well, I guess I don't really need to. I wanted to see how detailed it could get. But I guess I don't really need to do that now because it came out pretty detailed with that stencil. But we'll do something else here with this time. So, embossing, do the anti-static. And this is good. I mean, even when I did the texture paste there, it's good to have the anti-static even on when you're doing things, anything where you don't want it to stick in between the other pieces, you want to do that anti-static, right? The colors, yes. So the trick is, Dagny, you say when you're heating it, it always bubbles. The trick is to now just let it sit and let the texture paste dry and then cook the embossing powder onto it. That is the best way I found. I have been impatient and I have done that too, where I've heated it before the texture paste was dry and it bubbles. It works 100 times better if you let the texture paste completely dry. So leave it for, the half hour or whatever it takes, and then to heat. Because once the texture paste is dry, it's dry, right? It's hard, it's not changing. It's only while it's wet that it can change and bubble, right? So when it's completely dry, then you cook the embossing powder on there and it'll remain the way it's supposed to. The colors in the other trio are Tattered Rose, Broken China, and Vintage Photo. So those are a little bit more of like a rustic look, hey? You know what? I'll do those with this big one. let's change gears here, because I do kind of want to see what those colors look like. And I got this big wooden background stencil. Nope, stamp. Stamp. It's like, looks like logs, right? Like that. So let's try this one and see. I'm using my Mega Mount because I just want to make sure that I can get good solid impression with this. All right, let's Versamark this up. I feel like my Versamark pads are kind of getting a little bit dried out, worn out. I don't know, how would you put that? Tattered rose and a vintage photo. Yep, you betcha. Absolutely. I know that it's tough when you're in the middle of a project to wait. I just did that. I'm just doing that right now. I have 2 or 3 on the go for the retreat, like I said. Oh, this is going to be crooked. And I have to wait for things to dry, so I get the impulse to heat that embossing powder before the texture paste is dry, but I guarantee you it'll work better if you don't. All right, let's try these colors. I am going to, let's put the Tattered Rose on first, I think, because it's kind of the like the lighter color. And I think I want it more like just for the undertones. Oops. Okay. All right, and then I'm going to use Vintage Photo next. And I don't know if you have heard, but they are, so originally they released, I think I want to say 12 colors. And then they've released the Distress Glaze, the Embossing Glaze, with every new color they've released. But then that's been it. Well, now they've just released another 12. And I'm going to have them coming in the store as well. So if you are somebody who really likes these embossing glazes, there will be more new of the colors coming in. I can possibly put a comment on here, or if you want to know what the colors are, just let me know and I can message you what the exact new colors are. I don't remember off the top of my head. I put the order in a bit ago, so I don't remember off the top of my head, but I can easily get that for you. I want to put a bit, I think, more blue on here. So this is, you know, if you were doing a card or a photo mat or something, I mean, this is honestly quite an easy way to be able to do that. I just have to really wipe my fingers off here. So I'm getting that powder everywhere. All right. Are we ready for some magic? Oh man, I am excited to see this one dry. Can you guys see that? If I put it right there, is that good? All right, let's have this dry. It looks good now, but I think it looks a little bit better when it's dry too. I'm taking up all everybody's time. I do want to try one time, and I want to just mix it with some of the sparkle stuff just to see the difference. So I'll just do that quick after with my word. Maybe I'll try mixing it just to see when you're adding sparkle into it, how that, if just, you know, what it would do, right? I'm thinking it would, who knows, actually, maybe it would take the sparkle away. I was gonna say, I think it would mix the colors, you know, like if you put a yellow sparkle and then a blue embossing glaze over top, you'd get maybe a green color, and it probably will do that. But I'm now actually wondering if it will reduce the amount of glitter in there. So we'll see. As soon as I get this done, we'll go and do that. Ooh. Just about done. So what's thoughts on this? I'll put it up closer as soon as I get it all melted here. but I'm very happy with these colors. You know, I've been struggling for the last maybe hour. I've been trying to pick out some colors for a project I'm doing for the retreat. I was trying to pick out some distress colors, and I actually gave up just before the live here because I just could not get, I just couldn't make it happen. Like, I just could not get colors to work. But now look, I just go and I pick this up so easy, and honestly, these might end up being the colors I use. All right, bring that up closer so you can see. Look at that. Isn't that so cool? Oh, it looks like I'm glitchy a little bit. So cool. Maybe I'll keep that next week. We'll put some ink over it or do something. Okay, so quickly, I just want to, this one I wasted a little bit more, but again, like I said, you could keep this and put it in another container. You don't have to just throw it out. I'm just doing that because I got enough going on. I sure don't need to keep a little bit of embossing powder that I probably never reuse. Not that I wouldn't, but I probably would never reuse it in my projects here at the store. So at home it's different, even though I haven't scrapbooked at home for a long time. Hopefully this winter that changes. All right, Versamark this. Well, I'm thinking my Versamark was drying out, but it actually seems like it's, sorry, I'm off the screen here because I have it zoomed up so much. All right, so we are going to, I'm going to stamp this way. So this just says my thanks. Okay, make sure that I got that. Okay. So I'm going to use, yeah, let's use this. This is Aqua Tinsel. Just I'm gonna put a tiny little bit on. And then what should we use? What color should we mix it with? I kind of want to say maybe Tattered Rose. What do you think of those two together? Should I try to put Tattered Rose in here with this? Should I do the same? I don't think I should do the same. Like or else this Catch Flamingo. Well, let's do Tattered Rose. Let's see what it'll do, right? Well, let's heat it up and have a go at it. Oops, I'm blowing stuff around. So to me, it looks like it pretty much will do the same thing. I'm just gonna see once it's dry. I kind of want to see the difference between the sparkle and just the regular glaze and how that changes it. So, how's the heat gun? Is it noisy? Do you guys hear it lots? Or is it pretty quiet? I mean, it's quiet anyway, right? All right, I think that that's good. Okay, so the spots where, I don't know what my review is on this. So right here where, oops, where's my camera now? Right here where it says my, so it got some glitter in it. I don't know, you can't really tell on the, I don't know if you can tell, because I mean you can get the shine from the powder, but I don't know if you can tell the glitter. So there is a little few chunks of glitter in there. It's kind of hard to tell. But this part is the part that I'm surprised at. So when I hold it like this, you can see that's exactly how it looks to me. There is no glitter in that part. Now, I don't know if it's because just there was no glitter, which I find hard to believe. I don't know what happened there, but as you're seeing it right there is how it looks to me. So it's a lot different. Now maybe you can see the comparison. The My has a lot of glitter in it and is very sparkly, and this not so much. So I don't know if it is that the embossing glaze went over and sort of killed the glitter. I'm not sure what happened there. but that is why I wanted to try it and check it out. Where this one, the glitter would have settled there. Like that would have been the first bit that hit, and there was quite a bit of it, right? Where this, it was intermittent, I think, in there, and I mean, to me, it kind of looks like the Tattered Rose took over. Can you see that there? So interesting. Very interesting. That's exactly what I wanted to try, was mixing. Now this is glitter embossing powder, right? It might be different with just a regular standard embossing powder. I don't know. But I just kind of wanted to have a look at that and see what it would do. And oops, and I feel like we got a good answer. So don't have an explanation, but it definitely gave us an answer. So now I have this, I might save, because look, I have quite a bit of this left. I kind of went overboard. That's quite a bit. So I may try to stamp or do something with that. But for now, I'm going to leave that. So we have this one, we have this one, and we have this one. Now my texture paste isn't quite dry yet, so I don't think I quite want to heat it. I could try, but I mean the texture paste has only been drying a little bit. I guess I could give it a whirl. Why not, right? I'll try to just keep it high a bit so that maybe it doesn't bubble the embossing powder, or the texture paste, I mean. Of course, I should have had this done beforehand, but we'll see if we can kind of heat it without it bubbling. I like both of the combinations. It's funny, like I said, I was having such a hard time picking out paint, and I took, honestly, probably 3 minutes to pick out the colors for this demo. So it's funny how sometimes the colors just click, and then sometimes you fight and you fight and you fight with the colors, and there's just no chance of it working out. So maybe this was good. Maybe I just needed a change of pace, right? A change of medium even. So it is bubbling a little bit, but I'm just trying to get this to just start heating. Just start making it glossy. Sorry, I keep forgetting I have it zoomed up so much. Oh, there we go. All right, it's heating now. It's getting glittery. Ooh, it's very pretty. Very pretty. The bottom's kind of not really doing it yet. The top is. Come on, come on. It's like watching paint dry, right? Watching embossing powder heat up and melt. So this one didn't puff up too much. But it was, like I said, dry for about 10 minutes. It wouldn't have been perfectly dry, but I think at least giving it that 10 minutes helped some. All right. Texture paste with, oops, where's my camera? I'll try to show you here. You can see that it's the texture paste. You can see that it's thicker, right? Now I'll just try to bring it down so you can see a bit of the sparkle. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see a bit of that sparkle that it puts on there, or the shine from the glaze. And it didn't puff it up too bad. A little bit in this main bit right here. But like I said, if you let it dry all the way and then heat it, I mean, that would be beautiful. And so then there's the comparison. Wow. Very cool. You're here late. We're just finishing up, but you'll have to watch the replay, Auntie. So that's what I have for you today. There we go. Here I am. So that's all I had for you today. I know that both of you ladies watching at the beginning had used this before and have done these things, but a demo is a demo, and I feel like even if I've seen something or done something, it's always neat to have somebody else do it, just because you never know. You might learn something, things might change. So that's the demo. Embossing Glaze, Maybe I'll figure out a few other things to do with it another time. But for now, that's what I have. So just remember, we have 25% off the whole entire store, online and in store, since now I'm closed for the next 3 days, but feel free to shop online. It'll be on there as well. And have a great, great weekend. I will see you next week with, I'm sure, another spectacular demo. And thank you for watching and spending this time with me, ladies. I really, truly appreciate it. Take care. Thank you for watching. Till next week.